Hey YouTube, welcome back for today's second episode of UniX DBS. Like I said, trying our new upload schedule. We're gonna see how it goes. Early today, we definitely released the archetype overview for Gohan. I think it's actually really fun. I can't wait to actually build it. So if you want to do me a favor, if you're interested in the deck or you just want to support the channel, go by that video real quick, give it a like, maybe comment on it, just to help that YouTube algorithm bump up. But now we're going to be talking about the second half of Yellow, which would be Turles. So, as per usual, if you haven't been to the Facebook groups, there's three I just want to shout out. The Facebook discussion group, where all of us probably met one way or another. The official Facebook page, where they give official spoilers and, prize alerts and tournament announcements and all these things, as well as Universe X, which is my own personal. And speaking of my own personal, I've also got a Discord. We chat, we do things. It doesn't have to be about Dragon Ball. It can be about a bunch of stuff, but most of it's Dragon Ball, whether it be games, the card games, the anime, things like that. And last but not least, if you like metal leaders, like this one, super sexy, you can go to TCGMetalZ and check out my homie Chris's just art, man. Dude loves doing what he does, and he's always trying to make cool things like this custom Xeno Harambe Dark Broly metal leader that I got. And you can just look at his new work, look at his announcements, follow his Facebook page, and when you buy something, you can put in a code UNIX, that's UNIX, to get 10% off the entire purchase. Supports me directly, supports him by buying the craft. Be much appreciated. Now, getting into the content you guys clicked on this video for. I just want to say, if you like it, subscribe to the channel, because hey, we got to grow something out, and that's actually how we just keep moving. But in the meantime, let's talk about Turles. Now, I'm going to put up the template, and then we're going to have them on screen right here. It's funny for me because it's like Bandai really has somebody in the office that loves Turles. Just love Turles. And one of the things I always kind of found weak about Turles is, in a game, we choose which of our life we want to take to our hand. It's weird having a leader that focuses around how many face-up life your opponent has. Yes, the field card flips that, but at the same time, it's like, just to put it in perspective, I was facing a Turles player at a case tournament for not Cross Spirits, but the one before that. And my opponent had a turn planned out, and the first time he swung at me, I sparking negated him, and I picked up my face-up life. And then he swung again to try to force something through, and I used Mass Sand Brainwash No More to crit my face-off life to the grave. And it literally shut off his plays, because at that point he could not flip my life back up and still make the same play he was going to in that turn with his energy. And it was just like a really weird stumbling block, because he did nothing wrong. I just had effects that could touch my own life. So it seems like this time around they're giving a very similar motif, except they're going to make it based off of a resource that you have a lot more control over and not your opponent. So we're going to go into it. This is Turles Permanent. If a Turles Crusher Core card in your battle area be placed in its owner's drop area by one of your skills, it is sent to the warp instead. So this is the exact same effect that was on the old Turles. This prevents you from doing things like playing Cell Xeno. There's a couple things this prevents. But auto, when this card is placed into your leader area, play up to one Tree of Might Divine Roots from your deck with 2 markers on it. Yep, that is a unison that you play just for playing this leader. Auto, when this card attacks, draw a card. It's good that you don't have to swing on a leader. Awaken, when your life is at 4 or less, or you have 3 or more life face up, you may draw 2 cards and flip this card over. Okay, so going to its backside, you've got Turles Accursed Power. You still got the permanent where your Turles Crusher Cores have to go to the warp instead of to the grave. When this card attacks, draw 1 card, cool. Activate battle once per turn, Spirit Boost 1 for 1 yellow. If you have 2 or more face-up cards in your life, this card gains 10,000 power for the battle. Or you may choose 1 Fruit of the Tree of Might in your hand and discard it. If you do, activate its activate battle cost without paying its skill cost. Now, if we look at the card Fruit of the Tree of Might, because this is actually very interesting. The Fruit of the Tree of Might card is an extra card, and it's once it loads my other screen. If your leader card is a Crusher core card and all of your energy is mono green and you flip up one face up card in your opponent's life, face down, choose up to one of your leader cards or battle cards against 20,000 power of the turn against double strike. So, what this is doing, okay, and I will try to explain this because lots of people are pointing out the effect. Anything that comes before a colon is a cost, okay? And if you look at this card, I'll just put it up on the screen right now. Fruit of the Tree of Might. If your leader card is a Turles Crusher core card and all of your energy is mono green and you flip one face up card in your opponent's life face down, colon. That is the entire cost. The effect of the card is to choose up to one of your leader cards or battle cards that gain 20,000 power for the turn. And if the chosen card includes a Turles in its character name, it also gains double strike. This Spirit Boost is saying you activate its activate battle skill without paying its skill cost. So you are ignoring that entire first part. You don't have to have mono green energy, and you do not have to flip a life they have face up, face down. You will just gain 20k and double strike. So that means that you should be teching some Fruit of the Tree of Mights in the deck. So this is interesting. One, we have to see how quick you can accrue your life being face up to see how quick this guy can awaken. A lot of leaders in this game are kind of trending turn 2, so it wouldn't be surprising if that's what the archetype allows you to do. He cheats in the Unison, which is good because you don't ever have to spend energy establishing it, but I have to bet if the Unison is put out just by literally playing the game, the Unison is probably mid. And if it's not mid, that's a problem, for balance at least. It's a draw 2 leader and not a untapped leader, but because you're not using your energy to play a Unison, it would be kind of broken if you could just untap 2, because then essentially you have 4 energy on turn 2, you have 5 energy on turn 3, etc, etc. So on his back, it's really cool that you can use the Tree of Might, or Fruit of the Tree of Might. It costs 1, so it's going to cost the exact same amount that it did in the previous deck. So they gave a really decent way of not reprinting a card but still being able to use it. It's just weird on the charge, you know? But let's move on to the Unison, because we got to see what this card does. Tree of Might, Divine Roots. Permanent, this card cannot attack. Already, this card needs to be gas. If your leader card is a yellow Turles Crusher card, when your leader card attacks, you may choose one Turles Crusher core card in your hand and add it to your life face up. If you do use one face up Turles Crusher core card from your life in a combo, very, very King Piccolo-esque effect. +1 auto. If your leader card is the yellow Turles Crusher core, at the start of your opponent's turn, flip one card in your life face up. Okay, very reminiscent of the Tree of Might field card. -2 activate main, add up to 1 extra card with an energy cost of 1 and Tree of Might and its card name from your deck to your hand and shuffle your deck. This is a little interesting because it's a -2, and a -2 for maybe not something too impactful. You can search Fruit of the Tree of Might to your hand, and I believe there's a gift to the Tree of Might that comes later in this video that you're going to hear about. But it's kind of low impact. Its +1 is going to help enable your deck. That's the most important part. And then auto, yeah, let's see. When your card attacks, you may choose. So once per turn, because when you swing with your leader, you'll be able to combo with something in your life. So those are pretty significant effects. It's like an engine in a Unison. It's only going to go +1. And the interesting part here is that it is 16k. So you're going to be able to put it out, and for the first couple turns, your opponent really can't contest unless they really go wild. Comboing 1 isn't enough to go neutral with this. It's a really cool design. However, because it can attack, I almost wish it was like a 20k, especially since your deck hinges on it. The other thing is that even though you start out with it, because of the way the game works, you may not want to just start with just 0. Like you may want to have more copies than just the one you're going to pull out your deck. We'll see. The next card, Turles, Power of the Tree. First, we're going to talk about how Power of the Tree sounds hilarious. If you know, you know. But I don't know. I'm not gonna get into that. I'm monetized now. I'm monetized. Auto. Be an adult. Be an adult. Be an adult. No, seriously. Power of the Tree it's hilarious. It's just hilarious. If your leader card is a yellow Turles Crusher card, When this card is played from your hand, you may choose one Turles Crusher card in your hand and add it to your life face up. If you do, add one card from your life to your hand. Okay, so life cycling. And this is a turn 1 play that's going to change the amount of stuff in your life. So already, actually let me finish the card before I dive into it. My gears are turning. Auto limit 1 Spirit Boost 1. If your leader card is a yellow Turles Crusher core card, when this card attacks, it gains plus 10,000 power for the battle when you use a 1 face-up Turles Crusher core card from your life in a combo. Okay, so use a face-up combo, and he will literally go up to 5k, and then combo, get another 5k, so he'll be able to push against a leader card like that. That's significant. Sucks that Spirit Boost 1, but whatever, because the other 1-drop from green pretty much just went ape for free. But this is very interesting. So you can already see that with this guy, you're going to play him, turn a life face up, and then your field card will be able to turn a life face up during your opponent's turn. That's 2 out of 3 you need. So that's very interesting. Let's move on to the next card. We've got Turles Grade 8 Manipulator. If you have a field card in your battle area, this card gains blocker. So one of these. If your leader card is a yellow Turles Crusher core card, when this card is played from your hand, fill up to 1 card in your life face up. Activate up to 1 Turles Powerball from your deck or drop area, then shuffle your deck if you look through. This guy's actually really strong for a 1-drop. He flips, and he's going to activate a field card from your deck. And he becomes a blocker because of that field card. This guy's actually value. He may actually be the better card to play turn 1. That's actually very, very strong. I like that a lot. We're gonna move on to Diaz, Power of the Tree. I'm sorry, it's gonna be a little bit before I get over that name. Permanent, if this card is in rest mode, your opponent can't attack Tree of Might Divine Roots. That's actually very cool. He's only 9k, and that part sucks, but this part is very cool. Activate main limit 1. Your leader card is a Turles Crusher core card. Play this card from your hand, then play up to 1 Tree of Might Divine Roots from your deck or drop area with a marker on it. Shuffle your deck if you look there. Okay, so this is actually really cool because unless you run Overwhelm, there's not really a way to warp Unisons. So you might only need to play 1 Unison because this guy will just recur your Unison. I like that a lot. Play this card from your hand, then play 1 Tree of Might. Yeah, that's no, that's very, very good. And he doesn't even have to play himself. Like, you can literally play this card and then play your unit. Yeah, no, that's good. I was just talking about that, and that's a way to recur it. This card is very solid. Now you got Cacao, Power of the Tree. It looks like he's really feeling it. Auto, if your leader card is a yellow Turles Crusher card, I'm just gonna say TCC card. At the end of the battle, which this card was used in a combo from your life, play this card from your drop area and then flip 1 card in your life face up. Activate main, choose 1 Tree of Might Divine Roots in your Unison area and place this card under the chosen card. Add a marker to it. Okay, so this guy, Diaz pumped. Cacao, Diaz recurs your Unison. Cacao pumps your Unison. That's pretty safe. Amond, Power of the Tree. If your leader card is a TCC card at the end of the battle, which this card was used in a combo from your life, play this card from your drop area, and then flip 1 card in your life face up to replace it. Cool. Auto, Spirit Boost 1. When this card is played, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards energy cost of 4 or less in rest mode. KO it. This is a very standard yellow effect, but the issue I'm seeing right now is that I don't see a flip enabler. Until I see a flip enabler, I'm not really that sold on, or a rest enabler, I'm not really that sold on this. I mean, yellow's got more than enough effects to do it, but I just like kind of seeing it in archetype too. Now you've got Raisin, Power of the Tree, yield ballsack head. Blocker. Auto, if your leader card is a yellow TCC card, yep, at the end of the battle, this comboed with from your life, you can play it. Limit 1, when this card is played, play up to 1 mono yellow Laseki card with energy cost of 2 or less from your deck in rest mode, shuffle your deck, and you can't play copies of this card for the turn. This is very much so like their green counterparts. Like, this wasn't even a homework copy. They literally just made this archetype more controlled by the player and then just spat it back out, which isn't bad because lots of people like Turles, and I think Turles is really cool. It's just that Turles did function off of a zone that your opponent gets to manipulate very freely. Then you got Laseki, Power of the Tree. If you're, TCC, normal effect, that's been going around. Limit 1, this card is played, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, then play 1 mono yellow Raisin card with energy cost of 2 or less from your deck, shuffle your deck, and you can't play copies of this card for the turn. So this is interesting because it's actually just going to take your life down. So this may make it easier for you to use your like Krillin super combos if you're using those. I dig it. And now you have pretty much the boss card of the deck Turles All Too Easy. Now this guy is an SR, and I'm not gonna lie, he's with it. He's literally with it. Double Strike, when this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, KO it, and then choose one. Draw one card, or choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO it. Activate main, 2 energy. If your leader card is a mono yellow sand and you have 3 or more energy, play this card from your hand. Alright. Yeah, I don't really know if anybody needs eyes to understand how good this card is. People are comparing it very much so to things like Warcry, but at the end of the day, they do different things. Warcry can be played defensively. You can keep your energy open, and you can play Warcry defensively just to add a body to the board. You know, you get something drawn, you do your stuff. Now, this isn't Warcry. No, not remotely. But what this is it is a offensive powerhouse in terms of destruction. If they only have one threat on board, you can pay 2 energy to blow up that threat that swung at you last turn that you negated a combo out of, and then draw a card to replace yourself in hand. That's already really good. But at worst, your opponent maybe have gone hard twice. Maybe you've negated one and tapped down the other. And then, your opponent, like, the follow-up in here is nasty. Your opponent passes and you 2 energy to 2-for-1 them. You blow up one of their rested cards, and then you choose to blow up the other rested card. This is a very, very strong SR. And it's not even leader locked. It's just yellow sand. So yeah, get ready. Like if blue yellow remains dominant going into Nats and this releases on schedule before Nats, yeah, get ready for your board getting absolutely wrecked on your turn, your opponent's turn, because this card is real. Let us move to the next card. We got Blessing of the Tree of Might. Activate battle choose up to one of your cards, gains 5,000 power for each marker on your opponent's unison cards. That's cool and all, but at the end of the day, that's very, very, very wishy-washy. You could play against a blue deck and this card can make your card big as crap. You could play against Gohan Icarus and this card doesn't add anything to your, this is a little too matchup dependent. Depending on the matchup, maybe you can side these, but I think yellow has so much utility, there's so many cards you could side first. Next card, Scout. Activate mana. If your leader card is yellow or a Turles Crusher Core card, and you choose one of your opponent's cards in active mode, your opponent may switch the chosen card to rest mode. If they don't, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and gain control of it. This is actually really subtly strong. Like, you're just looking at it and you're like, that looks simple, but it's crowd wild. Like, tap a card or I get to take it. That's so stupid. And you tap it and that leaves it open to attack, or they get to take something. So this is a kind of interesting card. It's very interesting because none of the archetypes so far has had like body snatching, but this card is very, very weird in the sense that it forces you to make some hard decisions, which is pretty much always gonna be tap that. Tap that, so help me, because I'm not trying to give you anything on my board of importance. So that's wild. Next, this is the second card in yellow that has Turles looking like a grade A creeper, but I remember the scene. It was when he forced Gohan to turn into an ape. Turles Powerball, Field, Auto. If your leader card is a green or yellow sand card, so they intend you to be able to use this with the other one. Let's type. At the end of a turn in which this card was placed in the battle area, you may choose one Great Ape card with an energy cost of 4 in your hand and play it to your opponent's battle area with its skills negated for the game. If you do, draw 2 cards. Activate main once per turn. 1, choose up to one of your opponent's Great Ape cards and energy cost of 4 or less and gain control of it until the end of the turn. Activate battle, place this card in its owner's drop area, choose up to one of your cards with Turles in its character name and gain plus 6,000 power for the turn. This is very interesting. You give your opponent a body, but you draw 2. And the interesting part about this is that it's a break even, okay? You're going to lose 1 card in your hand with the field card, you're gonna lose 1 ape, but then you're gonna draw 2. So it's a break even, but yellow is the type of deck to where if yellow's on a roll and they got a good setup, that card may never swing at you. You may untap and try to play something 4 or less, and you get Zamasu'd and they tap down the ape they just gave you, or like anything, like power of a Super Saiyan. If they're mono yellow, there's like a lot of things that can happen. And so eventually you're going to be able to just get to your turn and take your 8 back and start beating them over the head with it. Yeah, this is actually pretty wild. I don't think it's like broken, but it's a very interesting card, and it is essentially a 1 energy Pot of Greed. So I dig it. And then the last card I'm going to go over is Forbidden Power. This is a very interesting card, and I cannot wait to see what we do with it. If your leader card is a yellow, your opponent can only attack with battle cards 1 more time for the turn. And then activate battle. If your leader card is yellow and it's your turn, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and switch to rest mode. Choose 1 of your yellow cards, and it gains plus 10,000 power for the battle. So this is going to be able to go super hard in changing the battle math. It's going to be able to go through barrier, which is pretty awesome. And since it's activate battle, you could, again, we're looking at cards that 2 for 1. Your opponent swings at you and puts 5k on the stack. You activate Forbidden Power, tap something that maybe has double attack or dual attack, and then you just freaking go up 10k and you stop the attack that came in and you prevent 2 more attacks from coming in. This is a very, very, very good card. And it says, you can only attack with battle cards 1 more time for the turn. So you can really clip them on it. It's like Nimbus in the sense that your opponent needs to swing with battle cards first again, but then again, with Nimbus around the format, you always wanted to swing with battle cards first against yellow because you don't want to get clipped like that. But if somebody gets a win in a weird situation, they swing with a unison first or a leader first, you just completely neg them. You negate the attack, and then they only have their unison or leader they didn't swing with in 1 battle card. It's a very, very, very strong attack, or a very, very strong card. And then I think that this is the one with an SR. Yeah. There we go. So it's on screen right now. The SPR is, it's not even close. This card is beautiful. Look at that. Oh man. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So that's pretty much that. It's interesting. So this is gonna be a mono yellow deck, but they expect you to play, a couple copies of Fruit of the Tree of Might just to get your opponent a little bit. They got a beautiful SPR. The theme, like I said, is very, very close to the OG Turles. It's just in a way that your opponent can't just rob you of the face-up life because they just choose which life to take. So I'm down to see how it works. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Let me know if you think this is the correct way to kind of reboot a leader. Like, it sucks that they're not in the same color, but I do think it was cool that they were able to see what was mechanically maybe wrong with the Turles deck and try to move forward from there. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a very, very, very good day. I hope you guys enjoyed both videos today. Like I said, we're trying to make sure that this channel goes up, and we're trying to get the exposure up, and I'm gonna be really putting out content at a pace that I think most of you guys will like to not run out of, So if you can, just give the video a like, maybe comment on it. Head over to the other video for the day, the Gohan spoilers, and comment like that. And I will see you guys tomorrow with some more Dragon Ball Super card game content. Later.